And we continue with our coverage of CPAC 2023, day one here, Media Row in National Harbor. And you know, the term rising star of the Republican Party is thrown around left and right, but in this case, it actually is accurate.
I don't know about that.
She's the Lieutenant Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Winsome Sears. Are you kidding me? Everybody loves you.
Well, it's good to be loved.
They're ready for you to run for president, but you were born in Jamaica.
That's
Come
right.
on, what were you thinking?
You know, it's my mom and dad. It's their fault. You know, since everybody's blaming their parent, right. You know. I have told people, look, if you're 40 and you're still blaming your parents for things that have happened to you, no, come on. It's your life.
When you were running last year, gosh, it's been a year and a half though, by the way. Are you enjoying yourself?
It's
well, not a year and a half. You're in 2 months.
Well, it feels like 3, but okay. 3 years.
It seemed like the media really wanted to put you in some kind of box, right? They expected, because of your gender, because of your color, because of your ethnicity and being a legal immigrant to this country,
yes.
that you had to think a certain way, they had to behave a certain way, and because you didn't, you were worse than like just me, a white guy who's a conservative.
Right.
Have you been dealing with that your whole public career?
Just about, you know, because when you're different from the crowd, then people want to put a label on you, and then they can begin to say, look, there goes the whatever fill in the blank is. But, you know, I'm old enough now that I'm done with it. I was done with it before, and then I left politics, and now I'm back after 20 plus years. So you know I'm really done with whatever box they're trying to put me in. I just tell them, look, you know, I've heard it all before, right? You're not original, and it's not going to change my mind because I have a certain philosophy. I believe in righteousness. I don't believe in abortion, and I want parents to be able to decide how their children can be educated. I'm going to be for these kinds of rights.
Well, and you're a Marine, and so you...
There is that.
So you...
And I'm not going to hate America. You know, America has been very kind to my family. You know, my dad came with only $1.75, so, and here he is now, you know, comfortably retired because he went and got a good education. I want that for everybody.
So you've got Glenn Youngkin as governor, you are lieutenant governor, and Jason Miyares
Attorney General.
Is the attorney general. And the three of you are such a force, I think, in terms of, first of all, maintaining what you promised you would do for the Commonwealth of Virginia. I know, isn't it weird that people are surprised by that? No, because we have been burned by so many Republicans who say, yeah, I'm going to do this, and then they forget.
Well, I don't know, they forget as much as sometimes they get in the seat. Well, I think sometimes they get in the seat and they, you know, now they're trying to hold on to it. But you know what I've seen Democrats do that sometimes we as Republicans don't? They don't care if they win the next time. They have an agenda. Yeah. And the agenda is to advance whatever that, you know, their philosophy is. And they're willing to lose. And I think we need to get there too because, you know, for example, my education savings account, I got to tell you, yes, I was fighting Democrats for that, but I was fighting sometimes Republicans. And it's like, wait a minute, this is what we said we were going to do. We want parents to make these choices for their children. So, you know.
And this is going to be specific to the Virginia legislative session. We're here in D.C., and this is the area I cover, but this transcends Virginia. This is a national issue. You had to cast a tie-breaking vote in the state Senate about a bill that was proposed that would prevent the Communist Party of China acquiring farmland near a military base in Virginia. This is something that you had to break a tie for this?
What about China not buying land around our military bases doesn't make sense to you?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. You know, Democrats, it's crazy. Do you understand that?
Well, I mean, honestly,
bombs don't care?
You have to ask whose side are they on at this point.
You know,
I'm sorry, I hate to put it in that stark
bombs don't
language.
care if you're black or you're white or you're male or you're female or whatever it is.
Yeah.
This is it. Do you hear that? I don't even have words.
Right, I know. Which is not normal for you, actually.
Well, no.
You usually find a word or two. But that is an example of what you've been up against with the Democrats in Virginia.
It makes
and
no
this is
sense.
replicated across the country. We're seeing this in other states
It's like
as
the anti-Semitism bill. They wanted to really gut what we were trying to put forward. What about we don't hate Jews?
Right, this was a bill
not understand?
you would have defined for it within the state of Virginia what anti-Semitism
in the code,
was.
exactly.
And they didn't want to.
And they didn't want that. What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I thought you said that we were the ones who hate.
Is it
you
just
know?
a point that they want to oppose anything that you're for? Is that or is there some
Larry,
sort of?
I don't know. I don't know if we're just so far gone on the left that there's a part of the left that it's almost anarchy
Yeah.
that they're trying to push on us, and it must be about control. I don't know what it's about, but if they can have like a mini civil war, this kind of war of words where we really have this total dichotomy, then they get to come in and save us. And you know what happens then? Then we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
these dictatorships, and it doesn't work.
What I like about you is all this talk about, we're irrevocably divided and we need a national divorce and all that stuff. That's not your style.
Oh no. No, I'm about unity.
Yeah.
We've already tried the national divorce. Why would we want to go there? There's strength in our numbers. We are America. We are still experimenting, and so because of that, sometimes you have some things bubble up, and it's okay. If people want to say that, that's fine. We're just not going to go there. We'll give them their space to talk about these things, but we're not going to go there. We're not going to limit what they say because we're America.
Yeah, I love that. Have you thought about your political future yet?
Oh, of course. I mean, when I ran, of course, for several reasons. Number one, because of education. I was tired of seeing our children not learning anything, and I figured I could do something about that.
And boy, did education become a big issue
there
in that
it
campaign.
was.
Isn't it great for conservatives and Republicans to be leading the charge on education? We always sort of ceded that to Democrats for some reason.
And I'm a former state member of the Board of Education
yeah.
here, and the vice president. And I know how to get things done. And because, again, my father came with no money and education was his path, I knew that education will lift all of our boats, and that's what Brown versus Board of Ed was about.
Mm-hmm.
It was about parents being able to choose where to send their children to school, ultimately, at its foundation. So I was for that, and I was also about building the Republican Party, because I'm seeing all the nonsense going on, and I know that we have black people who are conservative. Probably half of them are more conservative than they realize. I didn't know I was conservative, I mean, I remember when George Bush said one out of the three things during his commercial, this is the Father Bush, Daddy Bush, when he said, if all you ever have is welfare, you will never have anything to pass on to your children. That's when I said, oh my God, I'm a Republican. And most of us who look like me, we don't know that. And other immigrants don't realize that they're Republicans too.
Isn't that sad though? Because most of the original former slaves, the liberated slaves in America, were Republicans. Because it was the Republicans who.
And you know how people do the man on the street interview, and they ask questions like, who was it that was for slavery? Was it the Republicans or the Democrats?
Right.
Believe it or not, people say it was the Republicans.
Yeah.
So another reason why we need Larry to teach history.
Yeah.
Not CRT.
But wait a minute, now we're getting into education, and I asked you about your political future.
Okay.
So
WinsomeSears.com. WinsomeSears.com is my PAC. I need money because we're trying to change our Senate.
Yeah.
We can't get a lot of things through, as
State
you know.
Senate of Virginia needs to be fixed. It's only a couple of seats that need to be flipped.
Only a couple seats. And if we can do that, then we can really get through education savings account. We can get through so much more. We can get a budget.
And then you'll be poised to run for governor or senator. U.S. senator?
No, I'm not running for U.S. Senate, but I'm not running for lieutenant governor again.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I'm not saying anything.
All right, we'll
I'm
just
saying.
leave it at that then. All right.
Don't start no trouble.
I don't want to get you in trouble. It's all right. Although it is interesting, for people who don't know, in Virginia, the governor can only serve one term.
Only serve one term,
right,
yeah.
So.
And I won in my own right because
yes.
People probably also don't know that the governor doesn't choose his running mate.
Right.
Yeah.
You ran on your own race, although the three of you did run. Once you won your races, you were a great team, and you continue to govern as a great team,
We got off the
too.
bus together. We got off the plane together until the governor said to me, Governor Youngkin said to me one day, Winsome, that was dumb. We shouldn't have all been on the same plane.
That's true. You could have been.
Yeah, we should be like royalty.
Oh, Lordy. That's true.
Everybody on a different plane.
All right. Well, I always enjoy our conversations. It's great. And I love that you're here engaging with everybody and being a part of the conservative movement.
Things like these are it's like home base. This is where we get our energy. Then we can go out and fight and come back to home base, get energized, and go back and fight. So.
Didn't I tell you she was a rising star in the Republican Party? WinsomeSears.com. Say it again.
WinsomeSears.com.
There's more
Donate.
There's more to come on O'Connor Tonight.